Alright. But today I'm off on a field trip. But he's planning to. Can't wait to see. Professor Palper told me to get ready. Told me to be ready early and dress for hiking, as we're doing field work this morning. I'm not sure I'll have anything that would pass for hiking gear, to be honest. Some sturdy shoes would be good, but oh well, lab coat and trainers it is then, as usual. Message from the professor lights up my cat. Good to go. I'm waiting outside my. LSF, are you ready for our field work today? Yes, of course, Professor. May I ask where we're going? Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting. Professor hands me a backpack. Here, take this bag. It's very full, but surprisingly light. Hopper has set off at a brisk pace, calling back to me over her shoulder. This way! I run to catch up. After some serious walking with me struggling to keep up, the professor abruptly stops and listens. Do you hear that? There's a distant source of babbling water. We're almost there. Secretly, I'm relieved. I don't think I could go much further. Just a little climbing. Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get this energy from? It's just at the top there. It's not too difficult as a climb as it looks. We're in front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me! He clambers up expertly. I manage to find a spot that will support my foot and start climbing. I make a little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. I try again. This time I take it slow, and again I fall. What happened to benefit and catification the others kept going on about? The professor notices I'm having trouble and holds out a hand for me. I manage to climb up just enough to take hold of him. He lifts with the rest of the way. His strength is impressive, even curious enough. Not a fan of climbing it. Can't say I've done much of it. Come along then. I can get you there. He pretty much pulls me up the rest of the way to the top and leads me to the top of an entrance cave. I find the sound of running water is very loud now. Instantly I can see why. Natural spring has cut its way through the rock and created a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious. I kneel down without thinking and begin to drink. It tastes amazing. I come up for breath and see Professor looking at me. Suspicion. You should know better. It's never wise under any circumstances to ingest something that is unproven, but here on this island it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed about my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I do understand many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safer consumption. It's good, don't you think? My body feels suddenly re-energized. I feel like it's climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. Need some samples. I've been studying this water for months. We still know very little about it. Check your bag. I open my bag and it's full to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We need to fill all these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry. I do as he says, and by the time these bottles are full, back in my backpack, it weighs a ton. I feel like I could lift anything. The effects of the water is powerful. The professor also has packed his own red sack with bottles. That should do us for now. Let's get these back. As we make our way down to the rock face and back to camp, no problem with keeping up with the professor. I feel like I could run all the way. However, as we get close to home, I can feel the effects wearing off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limp into camp is torture. I need to. I've come to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning, I noticed another change. Until now, it's been easier to cover up my transition. I just had to keep a top of removing excess body hair. Even the stub of the tail that appeared a few days ago hasn't been a problem. Who would see it? But this new development, definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils have turned into vertical slits? Can't risk anyone seeing me like this, so I'm gonna hide out for a while and happen. Hi Zell, welcome. Beautiful night. McMurray and I are lying in the sands by the old shipwreck, relaxing in a way that only cats can. I remember back to all the anxieties and stress I used to live with, and the endless hours of fretting over the antidote research. It makes my fur stand up, and I thought our lives depended on it. It was my love for McMurray that finally got me to see sense. Why was I so desperate to make him the same as me? Hadn't I fallen for him the same way he was? I am so decided to turn on its head and become like him. I can read. I lose track after 30.
Oh, such a cute kitty, look at that.
We're laying under the stars and help see myself smile to myself when I remember how cold I used to think it was at night. Back, you used to rib me for my whining. Now here I am, as snug as I can be, counting the stars with the cats I love more than anything else in the world. You see, the trouble is, Kara, you're still thinking like a scientist. What do you mean? So when you count the stars, you begin at 1 and assume you're going to keep counting numbers until you quantified the whole entire galaxy. He laughs until his eyes twinkle with moisture. Yeah? Go on, Murphy the Wise. Enlighten me on the better way of counting. So if you ask me how many stars there are. I take an overall squint at the sky, judge how cloudy or clear it is, decide if there's enough light to hunt. Not too much in the night is the right amount for that, by the way, or too little light for a snooze, just when it's bright, or just enough to steal a kiss from your sweetheart. Judging by the sky tonight, he nuzzles into my fur, and I'm the happiest cat. Oh. Ending achieved, love drunk. $10.25 the total games. Okay. All this. Call him. Finally here, this is infamous Cat Island, place which I call home for next. When I initially received a letter that island is beautiful. Or I unpack and settle into my tent. I notice something odd, a little dugout under my bed. Reach in, pull it out, and an unexpected find. A personal journal of the previous researchers, one before me. They must have forgotten it or left it behind. An absolute gold mine of information. It's gonna let me speed up with how it all works around here in no time. However, it seems that something else was happening here on the island. Something of troubling them. I get the feeling there's far more going on than the professor would have left known. In spite of increase in tiredness, I could agree. The journal gets weirder and weirder to the point I'm not sure Whether I'm still reading or dozed off, or I'm now dreaming of talking cats and kidnapping. Eventually, I lose the battle and drift off into a deep. I wake with a start. It takes me a moment to get my brain in gear. I hear something scratching and the rustling of papers coming from the cat and something in its mouth. Suddenly, I'm wide awake. No! It's the journal! Wait! It's disappeared into the night. Before I know it, I'm out in the cold night, chasing running with all my might. I must get that book back. It has everything I need to know in it. Barefoot, dressed only in a t-shirt and shorts, running at full speed in the forest in the dark of night. This is familiar. I know. I read this in a journal. Something familiar happened to the previous assistant, and yet here I am falling into the same trap. I must be crazy. I slowed to a stop, thinking I'm going to be sick. Realize, of course, I'm close to the danger zone. Everything goes black and I fall to the ground. I opened my eyes to Calcicad, the one that I scanned yesterday, standing behind me. She grabbed the journal from her mouth. I pass out. Hey, hello, can you hear me? Are you okay? Here we go again. Move back a bit, let him breathe. Has he been bitten? The Sphinx cat is staring over me. I open my eyes. Yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand. I'm bringing my hand to my face, though with blurred vision, I make several deep scratches, puncture marks. Cat watches me intently. Is this real? Read something in the journal about a kidnapping. Catnapping, yeah. We're sorry. It was the only way. Sold the journal. Oh, but I gave it back to you. But why did you take it? To lure you out here, sucker. There's no need for rudeness, kibble. My head begins to clear and realize that if I could talk to these cats, no, not only true, but it's already too late. I have the sickness. Need to have a talk with you. Human. No, we don't. I know what's going on here. I read about it from your last victim. Akara. Not very nice. Prefer to think you as our champion and friend. McMurray, you silver-tongued Irish charmer. My reputation goes before me. Oh, I know who all of you are from the journal, so let's cut to the chase here. You just did that, though. You know what I mean. What happens now? Keep reading the notes. That will tell you all we know so far. Hang on, who are you? You're not mentioned. You'll figure it out. Not my problem. New cat sinks off toward the forest area. Oh, don't worry about them. They're preoccupied elsewhere. What do you say? Are you gonna help us or not? Help the kitties. Suppose my fate's already sealed. I might as well do my best to help you sort this mess out. Spoken like a true champion. Well, let's get this one better than the last one. So the last one was pretty good, actually. Unfortunately, they didn't get very far discovering the antidote or what happened to our friends. Catalog starts to beep. Oh, my alarm! I have to go to work. Go! Thank you from all of us. Yeah, I named him. Make it back camp very quickly, considering a little sleep I've had. One of the effects of the line transition. Catch my ability level will change, and I'm strangely excited about getting to work on the antidote sword challenge. About to enter lab, my legitimate work when the catalog beeps a message without any contact.
Insomnious.
I don't have time to work the puzzle out right now. I'm going to be late for work if I don't get a move on. Professor, we're already working when I arrive, but miraculously I'm not late. There's no fuss when I get through the day efficiently as possible and head back to my tent as soon as the work is done. I want to get a grip of finding out all I can as possible. Yeah, it's... What should I do today? Meg, are you still sleeping? You really ought to be awake by now. Snooty Booty, are you okay? What are you doing in my tent? All this lazy about is very bad for your complexion. Say nothing about the dragging effects on delicate tissue around the eyes. There's something I could help you with? Possibly. I have something that I want you to take a look at. Right now, what time is it? Time you are active. Come along. Well, at least let me get ready. Very well. Snooty Booty sits down and starts grooming herself. After a moment, she looks up again. Why aren't you ready yet? You leave the tent so I can get dressed? Oh, for goodness. Snooty Booty rolls her eyes and walks out. I get dressed resolutely and follow her. What do you think this is? I'm intrigued. You're on a beach staring at a partially buried bottle filled inside a plastic bag. It looks as if it had only recently washed up. Well, there's only one way to find out. Pull the bottle out of the sand. It has some kind of document rolled up along with the bottle. What is that? Read it to me. It's a good thing I'm just as curious as Snooty. I'd be feeling a lot more irritated by now. I carefully unseal the bag and unfold the paper. I read the note out loud. Initial testing on the most recent formula encourages subjects 6 through 18 appeared visibly younger. Moderately to severe side effects noted include increased hair growth, marked mood alteration. Subject 5 has major complications, some new small tumors, skin irritation, partial blindness, memory loss. We need to take a look at this. Check for contamination. Continue to iterate on the formula. You're visibly younger? Snooty Booty, that's the most important thing that you gathered from this report. You're quite right, Spag. Yeah, we ought not to trust it. The note could have been written by anyone. Shall we conduct our own experiments? Apply the cream to my skin? Have you lost your mind, Snooty Booty? Not hear what I read aloud? Tumors, blindness, memory loss? Statistics bore me. You should know that by now. Let's live a little. I'm willing to take the risk in the name of science. No. We're taking this. We're not taking any risks, Snooty Booty. You wait here while I go get my kit bag from the lab and see if we can't work out what this stuff's made of. I was hoping the lab would be free, but the professor's here making notes. Ah, hello, Smeg. I thought you were taking the day off from the lab today. Oh yes, I am, Professor. I just wanted to check something. Making up an excuse. I can't take the test equipment without Professor getting suspicious. I've come up with some kind of... Got this. Well, I want to go ahead and get ahead on some field work. There are some samples that I found that I thought could be useful. Pick up the field kit bag. Oliver looks up from his work. Oh, what sort of samples? I have to make this believable, but also invite no other questions. Samples are fecal. Fecal? Yes. Large poos are rather interesting properties. Jolly good. Off you go, then. Nailed it. Take the bag and leave. As I approach the beach, it becomes clear that Snooty Booty has managed to break into the ointment. She appears to have spilt some now and is busy rolling around in it. Snooty Booty, what are you thinking? This could be very dangerous. The only danger here is the ghastly sand sticking to my delicate scent. Again, do help me get rid of it. Meg tried to wipe off the sandbag. It's stuck like glue underneath the layers of sand. I can see her very pink. Her skin is very pink. There's no time to lose. I pick her up and run her to the ocean, trying to use this seawater to clean off as much of the ointment I can. Put me down. What on earth? I've never been so humiliated in my life. She twists out of my grip and scampers off in a huff. I think I got it all off, so I leave her to it. Now back to the sample. There's not much I can do on the beach, so I have to wait until Professor finishes it in the lab. Well, that was quick. As luck would have it, the professor needed to retire to his tent earlier than usual. He has to read more research papers that arrived from the mainland this morning. Now I can continue looking into this ointment. I begin testing the substance for several common compounds found in cosmetics, but it's negative for all of them. I widen the test for other organic compounds. I get a match for about 30% of the ointment is cat saliva? If they're using saliva from cats on the island, that would be infecting they would be infecting the rest of their subjects with catification. But where have these other side effects come from? I run the ointment again, this time looking for a known pharmaceutical. Before I get a result back, Snooty Booty comes trotting in. Just thought you should know that security guard is coming this way. You can make yourself scarce before he arrives. Not that I care what happens to you after you threw me into the ocean. I have no time to finish the experiment now, but I'm working on it later in the privacy of my own tent. I take my things and run before Zane arrives. I've taken some time off today so that Trixie can show me the water pool that she's been telling me about. I have some sample bottles in my backpack, along with some food and a blanket. If it's nice, we can have a picnic. So these pools appear to be different colors. They don't appear to be gloomy. They are. Well, can't prove that until we tested the reflection, refraction, and dispersion and play some fancy trick on the eye. Food to your testing. You take all the magic away. Scientific person makes the world very dull, I think. Maybe you're right, Trixie. Let's wait and see what wonders you're going to show me. That's right, this way. She appears from sight. I run to the cliffside where she's walking. I look over the edge. I can see that she's jumped off into a small rock shelf about 4 meters down from where I stood. Come on, you can do it. Don't be a fraidy cat. More concerned about how it will get back up, actually. There's kind of a step further along, but this is way closer to the entrance. I want to appear much of a killjoy, clamber over the edge and lower myself down, dropping the last few feet. Impressive, you're getting the feline spring in your step. If you say so. I'm worried I've made twisted my ankle if I don't say anything. Follow me, Spring. He disappears again, like keeping up with a jackrabbit. Follow my voice! And suddenly an alarming sound comes from the two rock faces, a high-pitched screech and very loud. A squeeze through the crevice and am in what looks like a cave without a ceiling. Trixie, stop! The sound amplified in this enclosure. It has become deafening. Sorry, Huey, but it feels so good. Haven't tried. What? Yell, shout, scream, sing, and tap your voice loud as you can. Oh, really? I feel so conscious, but I'm dying to have a go. You only live once, and it is so fabulous. He makes the noise again. This time, I join in. It's fantastic. The acoustics are something else, like an amphitheater. Eventually, we run out of steam. I flop to the ground, exhausted, but exhilarated too. After we catch our breath, I'm ready to push forward. We better get on if we don't want to be back too late. Here we are. I'm surprised. I was expecting something more impressive. This is the place. I look around for the first time and note that several pools of water, not much larger than a pool, puddles around the edge of the enclosure. I see. I bend over to the nearest pool and see straight away that it is the deepest red. It looks like blood. Look at mine, like liquid sky. Across the opposite side, Trixie is sitting, and sure enough, it is the clearest, richest blue water and melted emeralds. I follow her to another pool as green as spring foliage, then another deepest purple, one of orange, yellow, and pink. Well, it's clearly as amazing as you said, Trixie. But strange that they're also different. What's causing it? It has to be a trick of light. Put your hand in. Well, I'm not sure that's a good idea. There could be any number of bacteria that make this happen. Let's not touch it, so you know it's safe. I've done that. Lots. Fine. I glance over and sure enough, she has her little furry paw in the golden colored pool. Somewhat reassured, I scooped out some of the blue water and sniffed it. It smells wonderful, as if it's been perfumed. What is that smell? It's weirdly familiar. I take out my bottle and begin collecting waters. My theories about the light is blown when I line the bottles up together, and they each retain their original hue. Something is dyeing this water. I can't wait to get back to the lab to run some tests. We can go back the easy way if you like. Follow me. We head back along the rock shelf and go past the spot we jumped down the way here. Further along, there's an ascent, just like Trixie said, but I would hardly call it steps. Someone has clearly tried to make a trail here, but it's a bit rough already. Further along, I can make out a large empty metal drum. It's rusted and obviously discarded some time ago. I get closer to look and see that there's a tap near the base and the remains of a label, but I can barely make out the words. I take a picture with my catalog to decipher it. The perfume I smell in the cave seems to be stronger here than here. I am very intrigued. Trixie couldn't be less interested in all of this. She's happy skipping along looking for a good picnic spot for us, and I will have to be patient with my investigation. Trixie and Kibble have brought me to the ridge where the pool of colored water collects. We call them rainbow pools. It's a beautiful day. There's a vivid rainbow across the sky. Kibbles is over the other side from me, shouting, "Whoa, look at this, come over here." He sounds further away than he is. My hearing isn't quite right, but I don't mind. What is it? You need to see it. Suddenly, I'm beside him, looking over the edge of the cliff. When I look down, the sea is further away than I expected. Such a long way down. You see? I feel a push from behind as I'm beginning to fall. I hear Trixie laugh. Curiosity did what? And I'm not falling at all, I'm floating, light as a feather. Fly, little bird, fly away home. This is best feeling ever. I'm going higher towards the rainbow. I'm going to touch it. Mind you don't get scorched by the sun. I feel myself being shaken. Yumi, you ought to go in. Now, it's too hot out here to sleep. I'm on the patch of scrub grass beside my tent. I was having a moment of shut-eye in the sun. I must have fallen asleep. Oh, thank you. I smile at the calico cat as I grumpily scratch at the prickly heat on the legs. Let's go on a date with Snooty Booty. I spray out like a starfish on the beach, my bathing clothes. It's a sweltering hot day. I find it hard to concentrate on my work, so here I am. I let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as they lay on the sand. I hear a long, loud sigh coming from somewhere nearby. I sit up and see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in repose under the shade of a palm tree, looking out about her with a concerned expression, one I've never really seen a cat make before. I go over to see if I can help her with something. Are you okay, Snooty Booty? She lets another long, wistful sigh. To be quite frank with you, human, no, I am not okay. I cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there's something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It's quite the predicament. Alright, want me to fetch it for you? Oh, would you really be so kind, human? I would be very grateful. Sure, it's not a problem. Can't have you put that delicate skin of yours at risk. Snooty Booty looks grave. Indeed not. Skin must come above all else, don't you? No? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It really is quite aging. One must never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island. Oh, I know, believe me. How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly. Really? That's sweet of you. Of course, you are a precious thing. I do hope that you're finding time here pleasant. Don't worry about me, Snooty Booty. I'm fine. Now, what is it you would like me to get for you? Well, before I tell you, I must ask you don't go inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item. It's very dear to me, you see, one of the few luxuries I have all to myself. Of course, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be. I do hope so, human. You see, along the beach just south of here, there's a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It's quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy. Snooty Booty is as if she was lost in a wonderful dream. Sounds lovely. It is. I'd like to drink coconut water as often as I can, as it is good for the skin and waistline. But less civilized citizens of the islands keep knocking the coconuts off before they're further mature. Fortunately, no one seems to have discovered this particular tree yet. Okay, Snooty Booty, I'll try to get some coconuts for you. I'll be back soon. You have my thanks here. Been walking for a lot longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me, though this one does seem to have a lot more coconuts than the others. I decided to take a chance and bundle up as many as I could carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. By the time I get back, Snooty Booty, I'm faint from the exertion, not to mention walking far in the sun. I fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Here you go, Boots. The eyes piled with distinct air of disapproval. I only need one coconut, human. Oh, these are far too many. I do apologize, madame. Tell me, you didn't plunder the tree? No, there's plenty on the ground already, so... Oh, that's small mercy. At least you didn't go hack them down. Hack them down? With what? While your hands are rather large and leathery. Snooty Booty, I did not use my hands for deforestation. I'm sure you did your very best, although I really don't know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts. You're welcome, I'm sure. I look down at the pile of coconuts, and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on this island to plunder them. What do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps the wildlife away from the island? You mean the magnetic barrier? Magnetic barrier? Oh, do keep up, human. I thought you were meant to be a scientist. Realize that she must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island. Now be a dear and crack one open for me with my enormous hand. Well, you could try, I suppose. I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. On second thought, I'll be right back with it. A what? Snooty Booty looks horrified. Sharp metal tool that bores in. What on earth do you need one of those for? So I can make a hole to get the water out of the coconut. How else do you suppose I do? I'll look around you. Here, look at nature's bounty. What about that? Snooty gestures with a limp paw at the shard of rock near. Snoots, how do you usually get the water out of the coconut if there isn't any? While the exuberant Kibble simply loves to break things, have you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him. Far better than one of your screw dribblers, don't you think? I reach over and pick up the rock. It does look like you could actually do the job. Okay, let's give it a try. Here goes. Holding coconut in a palm leaf, gently tapping the shell a few times with the stone, before finally whacking it. It cracks open surprisingly easy. Water drains onto the leaf. Oh! There now. See how nature provides human? Yep. Again, you're welcome. Quite. Snooty Booty stretches her neck and upper body towards the leaf, sticks out her tongue out as far as it can before raising her big eyes to me. I can't quite seem to... I suddenly realize what she's getting at. I let her struggle for a moment or two before I began to feel like a little bit like a child pulling the wings off a fly. She can't help the way she is. You seem to be struggling a little, Boots. Well, you've placed my libations slightly out of my reach. Oh, sorry. Would you like me to help? Bring it a little closer, perhaps? Well, of course I would, human. Are you being deliberately obtuse? I would like very much to help you, Snoots. But you'll make it rather difficult. How? I don't understand. I've been perfectly clear in my instructions. See, I'm under a spell. It's a powerful one. which prevents me from following any instruction unless accompanied by some magic words. Oh, would you care to enlighten me? Well, it goes something like this. Please, human, would you mind passing me my libation? Please. Thank you very much. There's a pause during which I'm not sure what Snooty Booty is thinking. Suddenly, the Sphinx interrupts in a peal of laughter. I seem to have forgotten my manners. Please do be so kind, human. I would most oblige. Oh, go on then. I nudge the leaf closer to her. He delicately laps at me. I'm truly indebted. Many thanks. That looks delicious. Snooty Groody. Snooty agrees without taking a break. You know, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work. I'm sure it was. She's still lapping at the water. Cough. My throat is a little scratchy, especially in this heat. Snooty Booty comes up for air. Quite. That is the beauty of coconuts, you see. So hydrating, most palatable too. You really ought to try it sometime. I look down at the now dry palm leaf. Yes, it is a good idea, Boots. And the very best thing about after drinking coconut water, curl up and have a nap. You know, beauty sleep is most important. Oh, is that so? Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now? Well... Snooty Booty yawns and closes her eyes. Suppose I do. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply. Ugh. Water. There's some. Cat. I put on my latex gloves and gather brush, scissors, swabs, kitty wipes. Can't help but think I've forgotten. Oh, of course, treats. I'll leave the tent and head for the lab, stopping to stroke a few of the island's residents on the way. Meow, meow, meow. I call out to the lazy subjects as I enter the room. Looky, looky, what I've got. I shake the bag of treats and the small lap erupts with hungry meows. If you want these, you'll have to behave, okay? I open the first crate, home of grouchy old Mr. Bumble, and I gently lift him onto the counter to be groomed. Morning, Grumpy. Let me check your ears. No debris. Lovely. I have a feeling you may be discharged in the next day or two. He brought in with a mild infection, light temperature, weepy eyes, but it seems he have recovered remarkably well. In fact, I'm going to recommend to Professor Purpaw that we release him by the end of the week. I give Mr. Bumbles a cheeky cuddle before I get him to brush his magic fur. Wow, where does this all come from? There's enough fur here to make another cat. Mr. Bumbles begins to get agitated and let out a displeased grumble. I know, it's very annoying. I just got to trim you off a bit, then you go back to sleep. He presently lets me cut some of the hair around his bum and back of his hind legs. Aren't you a good boy? Here we go. Oh, num num num. For the little fish cake treats onto the counter, then the ragamuffin practically inhales them. Now, let's get you back in your cozy crate, tuck them away, and open the next one. Your turn, Socks. Just a cut in color. Yeah? I snort my own jokes and begin brushing the little white cat. He's a lot more livelier than the old Bumble. He keeps trying to bite the brush. Hey, don't make me get the harness, Socks. There's no fun for either of us. The cat seems to understand and settles down, only giving the brush an occasional nip when he thinks I won't notice. Oh, hello? What's this? I noticed that little red patch on his neck, just under his chin. Oh no, we don't have butt flies, do we? Oh, poor Soxy. I take a magnifying glass out of my inner pocket and examine the inflamed area closer. Ouch. Sox begins to struggle away from me. His must be in quite a lot of discomfort. It's okay, Sox. I'm just looking. Stroke the little cat, trying to calm him down. I hate to use sedation on subjects unless absolutely necessary. After a while, I'm able to get a better look at the wound. There doesn't be a single anything living under here. I'm relieved I don't have to deal with any bot fly. Looks strange. Like a rash or a sore, but I'm not sure how you could have picked it up. I'm worried about proceeding. I should just clean it with some saline solution and let the air get to it. Or should I put some of the professor's soothing cream, 116 on it, and wrap it in gauze? Gonna go. Cream 116 is designed for conditions. I suppose that. Coach Socks touches the bag and fluffs up his fur. I'm surprised by his reaction. He's normally quite a brave little soldier. Maybe it stinks. I dab a little cream onto my arm and see what the effect is. For me. After a few minutes, I realize what a twit I'm being. Cream is designed for cats, hardly going to affect my skin. I get on with the job and apply the cream to a very peeved spots. Later that evening, I noticed the smooth patch of smooth skin on my arm and realized that the hair is rubbed off. Oh, Fluffy. Booty. Booty booty. It's been searching for the Sphinx for what seems like ages. For a cat that never really seems to move, is surprisingly difficult to find. I'm answered eventually by an unintelligible murmur come from the shade of the nearby tree. Of course she. Booty booty. Poke at her gently, trying to rouse her. I have something for you. A gift, is it? Oh, human, it's you. What are you doing up and about like a time like this? It's midday, Boots. Boots stares at me uncomprehendingly. I have an hour for lunch, so I came to spend it with you. What? Okay. But if it's not a convenient time, I could always find something else. Wait, you mentioned a gift? Well, yes, I suppose. I had an idea when you were drinking. Well, when you were drinking from the coconut. I fetched for you the other day. I took some of the remaining coconuts to the lab and cooked up some coconut oil. Snooty opens her mouth wide. I sit awkwardly, staring at her, and unsure what she's. Well, I'm ready to break my fast here. It's hard sometimes to laugh or spit the spoiled feline. Oh no, Boots, it isn't for eating. You mentioned how good drinking coconut water is for you, so I thought you might like some coconut oil to rub into your skin. It keeps you moisturized and youthful. Aren't you terribly clever? I can't help it blush. Snooty Booty rarely compliments anyone. I feel so honored. You may begin. Snooty Booty rolls onto her back, exposing her plump pink tummy to me. Oh, you want me to rub it in for you? Snooty Booty simply smiles in response. Well, please go amiss. Well, yes. I didn't want to make a fuss, but if you prefer, if you asked first, besides, there's not much point in agreeing with Princess Snooty Booty. I don't think she actually meant to be rude. Sometimes she doesn't seem to understand how to talk to people as equals. I don't have the energy to deal with that today, but I make note at some point she and I are going to have a little chat about etiquette. Please, may I rub this coconut oil onto your skin? Yes, may. Pour some of the pungent liquid into my palm, rub together with the other. I have no idea what I'm doing, because I've never massaged anyone before, but I work along the lines of putting sun cream on a friend. As I touch the warm, loose skin, Snooty's primordial pouch, I am struck on how delicate she is. She really is, and I try to be gentle as possible. Is that okay? You're very skillful with your hands here. Okay. I do so wish I had those thumb things. They seem so useful. They're quite handy, to be honest, but paws are cool too. Snooty Booty lazily inspects one of her paws. Do my paws next, will you? Snooty's skin reacts well to the treatment. Becomes shiny and myelin. I see the good it's doing. I move to massage her paws, but I'm quite taken back by the length of her claws. Oh my Boots, your claws are quite long. Don't you use a scratching post or anything? What? You know, something abrasive to file them on? Whatever for? Well, it's part of being a cat, really. Stops them from catching on things. Snooty Booty peers at me with one of those judgmental eyes. Caught on what exactly? Oh, I don't know, Scoots. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Oh no. You go on. I'm intrigued. You seem to implying that there's a degree of neglect on my grooming. No, I'm most certainly not. You are by far the most high maintenance, highly groomed cat I've ever seen. In fact, you are a perfect example of a Sphinx. I am... What? Sphinx? Trying to get me say perfect again. It's hard to keep my face straight. Absolutely perfect. And you're an expert. Well, I wouldn't call myself that. I've been reading up on the Sphinx cats. And you have all the characteristics of a pedigree. Sounds very sweet of you to say. So remind me, what would those be? I hesitate for a moment, trying to remember what pause her thoughts listed on top of the feature to look in a Sphinx. There's rather a lot of info. I want to give her the best bit. Well, let's see here. Sphinx cats are known for their strong muscularity. Snooty Booty stares silently, obviously engrossed, so I can, which is counterbalanced by their little pot belly. She shifts a little, stretching out her torso. And you're the opinion of that. I fit this description perfectly. Notice on how cute your pot was when I was massaging oil into it. The texture too. I recite the sentence word for word. Although saggy in appearance, the texture of the Sphinx surprisingly firm and regular to touch, unlike a hot water bottle. She blinks slowly. I imagine that this is so interesting for her. Also because they don't have fur to soak up the excess oils. They have a tendency to be greasy. Need a periodically pat down with a cloth. The manual also goes into great detail about the unique personality of the things. I'm sure you remember every word of that too. Absolutely. They're incredibly antisocial with other domestic animals, yet extremely affectionate, even needy with humans demanding attention at all times. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, I know. The accurate part of the bit is wide of the mark, otherwise it's spot on. But yeah, I almost forgot. They grow patches of downy fur in colder months. Is that true? You may stop now. Okay. Her mood seems to have worsened. You okay, Snoots? Actually, I'm rather concerned for my overgrown claws. Well, there's little I can do about it, being a pot-belly, hot water bottle. But I can at least keep my claws neat. I have obviously hurt her feelings. Maybe the descriptions weren't that flattering now that I think about it. Maybe I could help you with that? Go on. How about I give you a manicure? Well, it can't hurt, I suppose. Tomorrow then. I'll be here on my lunch break. You know, Snooch, you're the most beautiful aristocrat on this island. Well, the compliment was hardly one would call worthy. Oh, I don't know. The elders could be quite touching in the right light. In spite of her efforts to hide it, I catch the glimmer of a smile before she curls up. Cat food. Alright. I decided to catch up with some rest, relaxation like the professor told me to do. So I come down to Jetty or Zane usually. Today isn't delivery day, as I was hoping. Nowhere in sight. I sit, my legs dangling out of the over the edge, and take out my sketchbook and pencil. I haven't done this in ages, so it's peaceful, so I get lost in my own little world when it's gone. Tried to do a couple of landscapes, the mountain range, view of the forest, but nothing really is grabbing me. Then, as I daydream, staring into the water, I notice that the patterns in the ripples formed on the surface are unusual because of the pool. The effect is beautiful. I end up sitting for over an hour just trying to capture the page.